She's been in there for hours. Something must be wrong.
Is it true what I'm hearing, Sid?
Our man in Dalamil mentioned that Cook is...
I've done what I can, but the rest is up to you. You need to start taking better care of yourself.
Understood. And thank you.
The curse has spread. Make sure she rests.
If it hurts, you can tell me, you know. I'll understand.
I can bear it.
But you shouldn't have to. Not anymore.
This isn't just your struggle, Clive. It's ours. And when we see how hard you fight, it inspires us to do the same. Or would you rather we left you to save the world all on your own?
No. That's not... Ignore me.
Clive, where are you?
In here.
What's wrong?
Rosaria's under attack.
What?
This isn't the Dalmekian army we're talking about. It's the men of the Rock from Drake's Fang. Hugo Kupka's private guard. There is in hell in Rosalith, trying to batter down the castle gates.
Looking for me.
Seems that way. Reckon old Hugo has finally worked out who Sid really is.
Then this is just another trap.
Ah, it's a trap, all right. The daddy of all fucking traps.
I'm going to Rosalith.
You're not serious. That's exactly what he wants you to do, Clive.
Look, I don't know why Kupka harbors such a grudge against Sid. But as long as it's left to fester, our world will never know peace. He has dragged the rest of Storm into this pointless war just to find me. Besides which, I am not about to stand and watch while my home gets ground into the dirt. Hugo Kupka must die.
I've lost enough friends to that man already. I don't want to lose any more. So let's go and kill the bastard.
I'm coming too. After all, we're in this together.
All right. I should probably speak to Otto before leaving. We need to know what we're getting ourselves into.
Back to Rosalith then. Whatever has become of her.
First he wrecked our home, now he's wrecking yours. He's not going to get away with it.
We must be ready to leave for Rosalith at a moment's notice.
Gov gave you the news then?
We're leaving for Rosalith, but not before I know exactly what's going on. What have we heard?
All sorts. Nobody was expecting the Dalmex to open up a new front against the Empire, least of all our friends in the provinces. Reports have been rolling in from all over the place, with no two saying the same thing. I've been passing them on to Vivian, in the hope she can make sense of them. If you're set on going, you'll want to talk to her.
Understood.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite pupil. Let's see now, where did we leave? Well, this is a surprise. My lectures are rarely so well attended.
You know what they say? A little knowledge, can't hurt?
We're going to Rosalith to deal with Kupka. What's the situation there?
Whoa there, Lord Rossfield. I'm sure you're champing at the bit to return to your roost. But to fully understand the present situation, one must first understand how it came to be.
Let us begin with the story of Hugo Kupka, or the permanent economic advisor to the Dalmekian government, to give him his formal title. In a republic founded on commerce, there could hardly be a more influential position. It has granted him both extraordinary wealth and extraordinary power. Not that he ever wanted for the latter. Being Titan's dominant, he is also Dalmekia's last line of defense, a fact he has used to his considerable advantage. Why, he was even able to pry Drake's Fang, one of the pillars of the Republic, from Parliament's grip. And he was quick to buy the loyalty of the Fang's protectors. Today they are his faithful creatures, a private army in all but name. The self-same army that marches upon Rosarian soil as we speak. By which I mean Imperial soil, not that you need reminding of the fact. Suffice it to say, the Empire's attentions are elsewhere at present, deadlocked as it is with Dalmekia over its occupation of the Crystalline Dominion, where its legions are now gathered. Scarcely a handful of garrisons remain to secure its western provinces, and half of them left after the fall of Drake's Breath. With the threat of the Ironblood thus diminished, they had little cause to fear a maritime invasion. And so today, only a token force guards the former duchy's shores, as Kupka was quick to descry. He landed his troops on the Rosarian coast without encountering so much as a single ship. All for you, Clive. He wants your head. And so he and his men advance upon Rosalith, not to capture the province, but to draw you out.
You said Kupka's forces sailed up the coast. What of Port Isolde, then? Is the city safe?
Quite, according to the Guardians of the Flame. the Dhalmekian fleet floated by without incident. But not without remark. When they learned Kupka's forces were making for Rosalith, our friends were quick to begin arranging the exodus of her citizens. And so the stage will soon be set for your heroic homecoming. Alas, it will be a more trying task to enter the capital than it was to leave it. Hugo's men hold Buett Bridge, despite the Imperials' repeated attempts to wrest it back from their grasp. And they were careful not to repeat the Empire's mistake in neglecting their coastal defenses. The seas around Rosalith are firmly under Dhalmekian control. So tell me, pupil mine, what do you believe to be the best route to Rosalith?
The north. We cross the northern border near Phoenix Gate, then take the road through Stillwind down to the capital. Hardly the quickest route, but at least we won't be spotted.
A little local knowledge goes a long way, and so must you.
We'd best get a move on then.
Oh, will you be going too?
Aye. I've been waiting a long time to give that fucker a taste of his own medicine. I would have missed this for the world.
All right. We should be on our way.
Lead on.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Those of us who are still here have to look after each other, don't we?
Ah, welcome. Times may be hard, but if you got the gill, I got the goods. What can I do you for?
Unwanted violets, if you have them. Though I'd gladly settle for learning what they are if you don't.
Why, I haven't heard folk call them that since I was a lad. You're looking for scorpion tails. Unwanted violets is what folk used to call them back in the day. They turn a wicked purple when you boil them up, hence the name. Used to chuck them in the pot when there weren't nothing else on offer, when there was a war on, that sort of thing. Thankfully, times aren't yet as hard as that. And even if they were, you wouldn't find anyone selling them these days.
Do the scorpions still live nearby?
I dare say they do. 3 Reeds would be your best bet, if memory serves.
Thank you. You've been most helpful.
Stay sharp.
Scorpions. At least I know what I'm up against. Stay down. Better get this back to Yvonne before it goes bad.
Hunting down bearers. Did you find our mystery ingredient?
I did indeed.
Marvellous! Let's see. What am I supposed to do with this? It's poisonous, surely.
You wouldn't be wrong. But that's your unwanted violet.
Into the pot it goes, I suppose. Wait here. I won't be long. I present Chance's stew, risen once again from the ashes of obscurity. Grab a spoon, Sid. Let's eat while it's hot.
I'm, not hungry.
Well, it'll be too late once I've licked the bowl clean. Your loss. Odin's teeth. What an assault on the senses. It's like choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavours, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
You're, welcome.
I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's stew sits before everyone in the hideaway. A single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
Oh, bother. Whatever am I to do now, Clive?
About what?
I've 2 dresses that need stitching, but I haven't got a scrap of linen. Those girls' rags are so threadbare. It's a wonder they don't fall to pieces. And we most certainly cannot have that. A certain amount of decorum must be maintained, even here at the hideaway. You wouldn't want the poor things going without decent clothes now, would you?
Of course not. What can I do to help?
Oh, aren't you a dear? You see, I've paid for 2 bolts of cloth from the drapers in Northreach, blue and red. But they don't deliver, not to places that aren't on the map anyway, so I'll need someone to take this receipt and collect them.
And you'd have this someone be me.
I would. And don't let them fob you off with anything less than what I paid for. 1 bolt of blue and 1 of red. I expect them both. They said they'd give us new clothes.
Let's hope the draper has Hortense's cloth.
Might I interest you in some swansdown? Perhaps some seersucker or herringbone?
Just some linen. 2 bolts. Already paid for in full.
Apologies, my lord, but your items aren't here. They were due to arrive on a caravan from Bucklad, but there's been little traffic on the road these past few days. My mother thinks it might be bandits, but she always thinks it's bandits.
It usually is. So I assume the caravan will be coming from the south.
Yes, hopefully carrying all manner of spice and sundries. Wait, you aren't thinking of...
Going to find it. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh, well then, be safe.
Let's go.
That damn bird's a menace!
She meant nothing by it, I swear.
Be safe.
Who's gonna buy my wares now? State your animals left them in.
But they're hardly damaged at all.
Is there something wrong?
If you're a bandit come to steal my stuff, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. And all thanks to this fool.
But it was you who stepped into my path.
Only after that feather-brain trampled me. I demand recompense, be it in coin or the items you carry. Refuse, and I shall report you to the garrison and see you hanged.
These goods are expected in Northreach. I mean, they're not mine to give away.
You wouldn't happen to be on your way from Bucklad, would you?
I am, but did someone from the market send you? Please, you have to help me. I can pay whatever you ask.
So the fool has protection. And coin, too. Sorry, friend, but we'll be the ones taking it. Oi! Killer! It's time to collect!
I told you not to call me that. And we'd have already collected if you hadn't insisted we'd put on this little act. Bandits!
As I told one of your customers, it usually is. Let's get this over with.
I'll deal with the bird lover. You take the handsome one, killer.
Stop calling me that!
All right. You made your point. Killing my ass.
Did he hurt you?
No, thankfully. He seemed intent on letting the bandit do his dirty work for him, and he would have succeeded had the Great Lender not sent you. My shipment is safe, and my livelihood with it. You must allow me to reward you.
We can speak of that once you're safe in Northreach. I'll accompany you there.
So you and my mother were right. It is always bandits.
And were it not for the kindness of our free sword here, you'd be buying your order back from them at twice the price. Now, if you don't mind, I have a pressing appointment at the Vale before my return to Bocklad. Farewell.
Oh, I almost forgot. I suppose you'll be wanting your linen. You'll be happy to know both bolts arrived safely along with the rest of the delivery. I've also added a few extra lengths of our finest fabrics to the bundle. Free of charge.
Are you sure?
My mother would insist. It's the least we can do for the man who saved our shipment.
That's that done then. Now it's back to Hortense with her cloth.
Clive, sorry again for sending you all that way. But you did get my order, didn't you?
Don't worry. I have it. I believe this will more than satisfy your needs.
Let's see here. One bolt of red, one bolt of blue. What's this? I don't recall ordering any silk or velvet or... Is this gold work? Krieger's ghost. If that devilet of a draper expects me to pay for these...
You needn't worry on that score, Hortense. They were a gift. For services rendered. I can always return them if you like.
Oh, no. Oh, there's no need to be hasty now, Clive. I'm sure I can put all three to good use. Speaking of which one's most to your liking?
I don't know. This one, I suppose.
I've a mind to give a piece to Jill. Did you know she's quite the little seamstress?
I know needlecraft was amongst her lessons at the castle.
Her lessons? Oh, that's right. The two of you were raised together in Rosalith, weren't you?
Not quite together, but when my father put down the uprising in the Northern Territories, Jill was taken as a ward to ensure that her father, the Silvermane, would keep the peace.
She's an honest-to-goodness princess then, isn't she? I could tell, you know. Some people just have that air about them. Not many round here, mind. I'd offered to sew her something that might better suit her station. But she'd most likely turn me down, as she always does. Tell me not to waste the fabric when it's better used on the children.
Don't take it the wrong way. She certainly seems to be attached to the last outfit you made her.
Oh, sometimes I think she never takes it off.
Or perhaps she'll make something for herself with your gift. Either way, I'm sure she won't turn it down.
We'll see, I suppose.
Lady Hortense said she'd give us our dresses soon. Said they'd be made of linen.
We must be ready to leave for Rosalith at a moment's notice.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. Normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what do you say?
Fine. If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
One day, I want to sail all the way to the shore.
Take care, Clive.
First August, and now you. What are you pair up to? What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like heavy, clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for? Now piss off.
All right. We're going. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems. We need to nip this in the bud.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen.
Blackthorn could fix it, certainly.
Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Doesn't even have a workshop. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe... Cairnorthern, that was it.
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down. What's the matter, Nectar? The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know? Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
must be ready to leave for Rosalith at a moment's notice.
Lady Hortense said she'd give us our dresses soon. Said they'd be made of linen.